Welcome back. So now I'm going to cast on to double pointed needles, and I'm going to cast on, let's have just a small amount. Let's cast on 32 stitches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. My yarn after all of this casting on is getting frazzled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and the last one, 32. So as I've been casting on my long tail cast on here for double pointed needles, you'll notice that I'm casting on to a single needle, just like a regular long tail cast on, nothing different. So I've got my 32 stitches here. There they are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer over 8 stitches from each side onto two other needles. So from this end, I'm going to take 8 stitches as if to purl. Go over there, grab 8. Come on, get in there. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, push my needle way up so that stitches have no chance of doing anything they shouldn't be doing. And then with another needle, I'll take 8 stitches off the other end. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I've got this going on here. Okay. Now when we're knitting, we're always transferring stitches from left to right, left to right, left to right. And when we're doing that, when we're transferring left to right, the yarn is generally attached to the needle in our right hand. We're working, when we start around, the yarn comes from the needle in the right hand. So I need to position my needles so that that's what's going to happen. The yarn is attached to the needle in my right hand. So here's my working yarn, and here's this needle that it's attached to. So that needle is going to go in my right hand. That'll orient me so that I'm in the right place to join my round. Okay, so now I've got this going on. Get this out of the way so you could see. Now the critical point, as with other methods, is to make sure that this ridge right here, let me get another needle to point with, this ridge here stays to the inside. And I want to join working in the round, so I want to take my working yarn here and join in with this first stitch over here. So what I like to do to avoid that first, that loose gap that always happens when you join in knitting in the round, I also like to bring my working stitch up to the top here. Okay, what I like to do, now the trick here too is to just ignore these other two stitches, other two needles, ignore them because they're just holding the stitches. The only thing at this point you have to concern yourself with is making sure that they don't twist around, that you don't end up with, you know, something like that or some other odd thing. Just that the ridge stays to the inside, and you're only working with this needle here and the working needle, the one that's going to be knitting the stitches. So what I do to join is, as if to purl, I slip over the first stitch. That's going to be my knit. Okay, then I'll bring the yarn forward. Bring the yarn forward and purl the next stitch. Okay, I'm joined now. And I'm just going to continue and knit 1, purl 1, ribbing to the end of this needle. Purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and I'm just ignoring the other needles as if they weren't there. Okay, now I'm to the end of the first needle, so I'm going to rotate counterclockwise. Ignore this needle, the one I had been working with, because it now has become a stitch holder, and focus on the next needle. And I ended with a purl, so my first stitch here will be a knit stitch. So I will knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. So when I'm working knit 1, purl 1, ribbing for socks on my first row, knit, I talk to myself. I don't think to myself. I talk to myself out loud and tell myself what should be next so that I don't lose track. Purl, knit, purl. After that, purl, knit. After the first round, then I just knit what I see, or if I'm following a pattern or whatever. But the setup one, I have to talk to myself. Knit, purl, knit, purl. Okay, and rotate counterclockwise. Position my needles. That was the purl, so again I begin with the knit. Knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. Okay, so here I am at the end of the round, the beginning of the next round, and here we are at that stitch. Here's that stitch that we slipped. The reason that I slipped that stitch, if you could see, there's the strand right here that goes from the last stitch here to the first work stitch here. So with the crochet hook, you could do it without a crochet hook, but with the crochet hook, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up that strand as if this stitch had been a drop stitch. So I'm going to go through that first slip stitch. You can actually take it off the needle with your crochet hook. Grab that strand and pull it up without slipping or splitting anything. There we are. And then put that stitch back onto the needle. Remove the crochet hook. And then what this does is it creates a very tight join. There is no loose stitch there at all. And now I'm just going to continue working in the round. Okay, knit 1, purl 1, oops, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and so forth around and around for the length of the sock leg, or the length of the cuff if you're just going to have a cuff and work some other pattern for the leg. Okay, so here I am, and let me describe to you what where I am in the sock. Okay, so this is my sock. This section up here is the instep, or the top of the sock, and then these two needles are holding the bottom of the sock. The beginning of the round is my tail from the cast on, and this is at the center heel. So while I'm working the leg, it's just the beginning of the round, but later on when I separate the sock for top and bottom, this the stitches situated this way will be very helpful to help me see where I am in the sock and keep track of where I am. Okay, so that's it for casting on 2 double pointed needles. It's somewhat fiddly, but it's my preferred method, and I've tried all the methods and I gravitated back to double points. I've made a lot of socks, and this is generally the way that I work on double pointed needles. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Leave a comment here, or send me an email, or follow me on Facebook and on my Facebook page and comment there. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and I'm always looking for constructive criticism, ideas on how to make a better videos and improve my offerings to bring more knitters into the fold, or continue to help out other people out there with their knitting questions. Okay, see you next time.